The non-negotiables for look-ahead planning for project success. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the key things that we have to do in look-ahead planning for our project to go well. And so I hope you're ready for this because I'm going to give you some previously not explained or talked about concepts that are really going to help you with every aspect of your look-ahead plan. So we already know that you on your project, if you're doing your planning right, you will have what's called a macro level Takt plan on a 5-day Takt time, and it will be the basis of your overall production plan and the contractual promise. Once we take those milestones, which are conservative, they include the reference class information, they have been reviewed in a fresh eyes, you can pull this milestone down and we do a pull plan to it. But we do a pull plan to the right number of zones. So we actually do our pull plan for one zone and then we cascade that throughout the multiple zones and see if we have diagonal trade flow. That then creates what's called our norm level Takt plan. And if you have the same milestones up here, that's great. The norm level Takt plan will end up going faster through the pull plan because of the zoning. And so what you'll find is you'll have an optimized sequence and buffers. Okay, so this norm level production plan is healthy. It has enough buffers. It can absorb risks. So it's really, really great stuff. From this, you'll filter out, and this is where your look ahead plan comes from. You'll filter out the next 6 weeks. And so you will in here, see your different zones, right? And the work that's happening, and it will cut off any work outside of that 6-week window. The purpose of look ahead planning is to literally look ahead. Sorry. And when we look ahead, what we're attempting to do is to make work ready. And and actually we'll link you to the video below. We have a video on this channel about the 17 things that are required to make an activity ready. So we want to make work ready and we want to find roadblocks. And the roadblocks are key because we really need to clear work if we want to flow. Flow does not come from pushing. Flow comes from making work ready. So really here's the rhythm. And this is what I wanted to draw and communicate on this video because it's that impactful. Let's say that this is your current data date, and let's say that this is next week's weekly work plan. Okay, so that's week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and week 6. Okay, so if this is your current, like you are here data date, your weekly work plan is the first week, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. The concept here is this. According to that 17-point checklist that we're going to link you to in the description below of what it takes to make work ready, like conditions of satisfaction, primary planning, secondary planning, spatial planning, all of the items, right? You know what list I'm talking about. We want to spend our time and focus on week 6. So what we're doing in the meeting, and this is pretty cool, when you're in your conference room and you're sitting around there with all of your trade partners, right, and they're sitting around, typically what supers will do is they'll say, hey, let's look at the look ahead plan and let's see what needs to be done. Do you have any roadblocks? And it's crickets. I can hear crickets in my head. It's like, I wish I could make the sound right now, but nothing can be heard, right? Not a sound in the house, not even a mouse. Like nothing can be heard, right? So, because nobody wants to speak up. The best practice for this is to post this up on the wall, which we can give, we're going to link that to you in the description below, and to literally set a timer for 10 minutes and say this to the trade partners. Hey, homies, love you, super love you. You don't have to say that. But I'm going to set a timer, and I want you to go through each activity on this look-ahead plan. So that means that if a trade partner, let's say they were the color red, any red activity inside this production plan in the next 6 weeks, you are asking them to, in their mind, 2D, 3D, 4D, imagine that area and track realistically how work is progressing and ask themselves and their office whether or not these activities in their scope, isolated from the look ahead, are ready according to these 17 items. And if they are not, that is a potential roadblock. And so what you would say is yes, yes, yes. Oh, nope. This right here is a problem. We do not have the equipment coming in from that area because that was a change in the design. That's a roadblock. That needs to go on our visual maps. That needs to be checked. That is a problem. That's what we're looking for. Because now our attention focus is here. Oh my gosh, this is such a good video. I hope you like and subscribe. But now that you're focused in this window, you see the roadblocks. So I'm just going to make some little red dots here. If you run this meeting properly, you see these roadblocks, okay? And these roadblocks are just as annoying as pimples. I just thought of that analogy, like watching these little red marks on the board. You want to get rid of them? You want a nice complexion, you want them out of there. They should be annoying. They should annoy you. So your job is to get rid of them. Oh my gosh, I hope you're sitting down. I hope you're sitting down. Your job is to get rid of these roadblocks between week 5 and week 2. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. Oh my gosh, you have 4 weeks in here to get rid of that roadblock before it impacts the work, before it hits the weekly work plan. By the time you get to the weekly work plan, by the way, time is moving in this direction, and this is week 6 out ahead of you. By the time that this week actually hits, or by the time the timeline actually hits this week, your weekly work plan should be roadblock free. So the reason, oh my gosh, this is so good, but the reason we have what's called the roadblock removal average, which is the average time ahead of impact in the weekly work plan, that roadblock was removed, right? You can track when you found it and when you removed it. But the roadblock removal average, which should be a positive number, preferably 5, 10, 15, that means that you removed the roadblock, you saw the roadblock. Oh, let me tell you this. A roadblock removal average, if you had a number of 15, that means that you're getting rid of most of your roadblocks 15 days before they impact you. If you had a number of 10, that means you're getting rid of your roadblocks on average 10 days before impact. If you had a roadblock removal average of 5, then that means you're getting rid of roadblocks about 5 days before impact. The problem is most companies have a roadblock removal average of +1, 0, -1, or even in the minus category. That means that they're finding and removing roadblocks too late, and that means that you're not looking ahead, and that means we're not using the look ahead process. And so the non-negotiables here are to literally filter this out, analyze it with the make ready checklist, do it with your trade partners, even if they fight you at first, set another timer. That'd be like, we are not leaving this room until we verify these are ready 6 weeks out and we find roadblocks. These roadblocks, oh my gosh, this is so good, must go on your visual identify tracking boards, on your Takt control boards, on your visual maps for discussion in every meeting, and then it's your job to remove them inside this window and to get the most positive roadblock removal average that you possibly can. And so here's some indicators that you're doing this right. If you have a visual, clear, beautiful format, you're doing it right. If you have this 17-point make-ready checklist on the wall, printed, laminated, actually, it doesn't even need to be, I want it so big it can't be laminated. Huge on the wall, you're doing it right. If you are setting a timer with your trade partners and forcing, yes, I said force, yes, that's still collaborative, yes, that's still last planner, forcing the time to be spent to make work ready and for each trade to find their roadblocks, you're doing it right. And if you are spending most of your time, that means 80% of your meetings on roadblock removal. That means in your strategic meeting, in your trade partner weekly tactical, in your daily foreman huddle, 80% of the meeting is on removing these roadblocks together as a team. You're doing it right. And if you have +5 or better, that means that you are removing roadblocks before impact on an average. Sure, some are going to slip, but that means that you're doing it right. These are the non-negotiables for look-ahead planning that I want for you. And so what I'm going to do is everything I promised we're going to link in the description below. We're going to turn this into a beautiful Canva graphic and into a blog post to make your life easier. And if you ever need help, please let us know. We are updating the Takt template with the most current look-ahead format, with the make ready checklist, and so we will link you to that as well when we have that done. I'm super excited about this. If you need any help, reach out to us in the comments below or just contact us through our website. We would love to help, and we know this works. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.